All right. Hi guys, welcome to another video with Jess Hover. Today I am talking about having a natural labor. That's right, delivering a baby without an epidural. I did it 3 months ago and I just thought I should tell you about it. Give you some tips on how to do it if you want to do it. The thing is, I didn't really know that I was gonna do it. I went into my appointment with the doctor right before having the baby and she said, will you be doing it with an epidural or naturally? And I told her that I wanted to try and do it naturally, but if I ended up needing an epidural, I would take an epidural. And she said, you're probably gonna get an epidural. Most people go in saying that and they end up getting one. The thing is, I didn't. I was able to do it naturally and it was great. I have an interesting situation. I had more fear of an epidural than I did labor. So I was afraid more that my epidural would somehow go wrong or it would hurt really bad or something. And that fear outweighed my fear of squeezing a baby out of me without any medicine. And I think that helped me. So if you're a normal person and you just want to have an epidural, then I think you should. I think it's going to be great and I'm not against them. But in my situation, I was able to deliver the baby without an epidural. And so I'd like to share with you some things that made that easier for me. The first thing I want to tell you is to try and progress as much as possible at home. For me, I was being admitted into the hospital, and so in my situation, I don't know what all kinds of hospitals there are, but in mine, once you get admitted, you're pretty much stuck in your hospital room. If you want to walk around, you're walking around the room that you're in. And so when I initially went to the hospital, they told me that I was in labor and I had the option of being admitted right then or going home and progressing naturally. And I decided to go home. I was really thankful that I did that because I was able to take a bath. I was even able to sleep some. And I walked to Starbucks. All of this you can watch firsthand by watching the labor and delivery videos that Sean made. So that was really helpful for me to be able to progress as much as possible at home. There was a time when I couldn't sleep through my contractions anymore. Walking seemed really intense, and basically I got to a point where I knew I needed to be back at the hospital just in case the baby was gonna come. I didn't want to deliver her at home. I'm not that natural. So we went to the hospital, and at that point I still was able to move around the hospital room, but like I said, I wasn't able to leave the room or anything. So if you can progress at home or somewhere else, do it. The next thing I want to tell you that helped me a lot was to have someone pressing on your back during the contractions. Sean was able to do that for me and it was so helpful. My back hurt really bad during the contractions. I don't know if everybody's does, but he would press kind of like this, I think, or maybe with one hand. He's got kind of big hands. But either way, have someone pressing on your back. It helped a lot. Also, to be able to change positions during labor. So kind of listen to your body. It's not like I had some sort of plan. I actually pretty much knew nothing about labor before going into labor. So all of this I'm winging it on. You might have more information on labor than me, and if you do, go ahead and leave some in the comments. But for me, what helped me was when I was in labor, I had some encouragement from Sean, my sister, and then we call her our Huntington Beach mom, Gina Gleason, and they basically just told me I could do whatever I felt like doing. So at one point I felt like being on my knees. That helped relieve some of the pain. I turned on my side at another time and they brought in this big, kind of like an exercise ball, but it was thinner, and I was able to put that between my legs and lay on my side, and that helped relieve some pressure in my hips. I don't remember, I think I stood up for part of the time. I went to the bathroom a few times. Sean was helping me because I would have contractions along the way. And yeah, it was kind of intense. The thing is, I would walk to the bathroom and I'd be like, Sean, I feel like I'm gonna pee and poop and throw up. And I didn't actually end up doing any of them. I think maybe I peed, but I don't know. But at least I was able to walk around a little bit. And then when I did pee and I was having a contraction, I would hold on to Sean for support. Maybe that's too much information, but girlfriend, you're gonna want this information when it comes time. So hopefully this is helping you. Another piece of advice for myself and some friends that had natural labor, this worked for us, Eat food while you can eat food. There will be a point where you can't eat anymore. You'll know you won't really want to eat, but you will be grateful for the strength that you have from eating earlier. So when I first went into labor, we had In-N-Out Burger because we live in California and that's what you do. I also got to go to frozen yogurt. That was great. I was in labor and that was when I had left the hospital. And why not get frozen yogurt when you're about to have a baby? And then I think the day of delivery, I had like a half of a Subway sandwich or something. But either way, I was really thankful when it came time to have the baby and I was in labor for many hours and they told me that all I could eat was ice cubes. I was thankful that I had eaten something earlier. Eat. Along the same lines, have snacks in your room for the other people there. So if you have no one else there, then fine. But if you have a husband or a sister or mother or something, they appreciate having snacks there. And also, I appreciated snacks after I had the baby. So maybe bring some food for yourself afterwards, or make sure someone is running to get you food after you're done delivering the baby, because at some point you'll be hungry again. And actually, even if you're not hungry again, at some point you should probably eat because you just went through a whole lot, and then you're gonna start breastfeeding, maybe, if you're gonna breastfeed. And breastfeeding takes a lot out of your body too. So have some food ready. I think I'm wrapping up. I made notes just in case. Eat. Oh, this was cool. Somebody told me this and it was helpful. The contraction is where you're having the pain. So the contraction is the most painful part, but the cool thing is you have a break between contractions. So as much as you can rest between the contractions, rest. That sounds kind of crazy because the contractions get closer and closer together, but I was grateful that somebody told me that because I really did think about it. So once the contraction stops, I would take a moment to just allow my muscles to relax, to breathe deeply and know that, okay, this is my time. The contraction's coming. I'm going to make it through, you know, kind of self-talk. Okay, there's a part of your labor that's called transition. It's where you kind of feel like you're on fire and everything starts going really quickly and painfully. And for me, it sort of felt like I was out of my body. But I was also very much in my body because I felt everything happening. During that point, I don't think I was really able to rest through my contractions too much because it was happening much faster. But pre that point, it was really helpful to know that I could rest through my contractions. Once transition happened, I was thankful to have a wet washcloth put on me because it really did feel hot. So I don't know, they told Sean to be ready to put a wet washcloth on me, and I was thankful they warned him of that because I really needed it. So wet washcloth, maybe you should have one. And have music playing if you want. I actually didn't remember to bring music, but my sister did. And for me, it was really relaxing to have worship music playing. Whatever you want to listen to, do it, girl. If you need some rap music playing in the background so you can remember that you're a boss while you deliver this baby, go girl, do that. But music is nice. I think at some point you don't realize the music is playing anymore, but before that happens, when you're still kind of like in the slower contractions, you will think it's nice to have Ludacris or, I don't know, Hillsong playing in the background. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, my doctor told me at one point that the contraction is only in my abdomen. It's not in my face or fingers or toes. And that was important because when the contraction gets really intense, you are like this, ah, or something. And she was telling me, like, try as much as possible to relax all the other parts of your body so that you can really use your strength in your abdomen. So this is like maybe pre-pushing, because once you're pushing, they told me to close my mouth because I was screaming. Sorry. I hope this isn't scary. You're gonna do it. If you can do it, I mean, scratch that. If I can do it, you can do it, because I am not that good at painful things. But I was able to do this, so be encouraged. Okay, back to this thing. Okay, screaming, rah. They tell me close my mouth and push as if you're taking a big poop. Very eloquent, I know. Try that when it comes time to push. But pre-pushing, when you're just having contractions and it's not time to push, you just want to try as much as possible to not tense up your whole body, because then you're using a lot of your strength on the rest of your body, and actually you need to save your strength for when you're pushing. When it came time for me to push, they had to break my water because I was progressing, and then eventually I wasn't progressing anymore, and they said my water was bulging but not breaking. So they broke my water, and then the baby was born an hour later. So it happened very quickly. In fact, it happened so quickly that my doctor had gone home to take a shower and wasn't there when it came time for me to push. So they had me breathing. My sister reminded me they're called like candle breath, something like you're blowing out a birthday candle. So they had me breathe like through my contractions and pushing so that I wouldn't push out the baby before the doctor arrived. Then when the doctor finally arrived, she was amazing, by the way. Best doctor. She came in, I was able to push, and I think the baby came out like right away. It felt almost immediate. People have asked me if I tore. She cut me a bit, but I didn't know. I didn't feel it. I mean, everything hurt. So at that point, I don't know what was me being cut and what was just the baby coming out. But I was actually relieved that she cut me, because if she hadn't have, the baby would have gone back inside, and then I'd have to go through the whole pushing thing again, and not so much. So yeah, so the baby came an hour after my water broke. Super intense time. But also the coolest thing ever. The moment when the baby is coming out, the doctor is like, stop, 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 everybody stop. Jessica, look, because I'm like screaming, yelling. And she just pulls Eloise's sweet little face out, and I saw it, and all of a sudden I feel Sean's tears falling on my face. And there she was, and then it was one more push. The head is the hardest part. So you push the head out and the body comes out pretty easy. And then they just plopped her right on my chest, and it was so sweet and perfect. And you're gonna love it. So it's great. I don't know if any of that helped you, but mostly what I want you to know is that if I could do it, you can do it. That is true. If you want to have a natural labor, I hope that you're able to do it. If you wanted to and it didn't work out, there's no shame in that. It's awesome. Just have the baby. The baby's great. If you wanted to have a natural labor and then you wanted to have an epidural, but you ended up with a C-section, praise the Lord. Just be healthy. Whatever needs to happen in order to get that baby out of you and keep you healthy and the baby healthy, do that. But I was able to do it naturally, so I hope that some of this helps you in that. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel. Leave comments down below for more of what you'd like to see. I'm not always going to be making mom videos, but I am a mom, so I think that I should make some because they'll help you who are moms or are going to be moms, or maybe 25 years from now you're going to be a mom, and you'll want to remember the things that I'm saying. So, okay, thanks so much. Stay connected with us on Instagram and Snapchat, and we will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.